Happy New Queer, everybody! To say that I am one of the happiest sapphics on the planet is an understatement. We have a lot of ground to cover today. Today we are going to be reviewing Eve of the Daleks on New Year's Day. Happy 2022, everybody. We made it. It's a new year. Let's hope this year is better than the last, and if not, we can handle it. We've got this. Where was I? Okay, Eve of the Daleks. So the majority of what I'll be talking about this video will be THASMIN centered, or at least that's what I'm looking the most forward to covering, and I think that's what most people will want to hear about. So, Ivy, who's editing, if you would be so kind as to just put a little timestamp either above or below where I'm gesturing, showing our wonderful viewers when I start talking about THASMIN, that would be much appreciated. I promise I won't be upset if you guys just skip right to that, because honestly, I'm tempted to do the same. Let's go ahead and talk about the episode just in general. I love time loop stories. Time loops, my beloved. And so I was excited we were doing that in Doctor Who, and I especially really liked that they added the rule that the time loop gets shorter every minute counting down to midnight. I thought that was really clever and really tense, and I wish we had seen a little bit more of the consequences of that. But just the idea of it was really cool, so... One thing I really like too is that within each time loop, the plan was kind of different and a lot of the characters kind of got their different moments. For example, we got Dan sort of sacrificing himself and taunting the Dalek. We got the Doctor and Yaz kind of like running things, exploring the different units, etc. It was really nice to see like within each loop there was enough variety and there was enough shine for all the cast to have that spotlight. And speaking of the entire cast, they all did a really good job. The guest stars were really great. Usually in Jodie Whittaker's era with the guest stars, they kind of seem really forgettable and it's just kind of like they're there. But these two guest stars, they did such a good job. They were just a great addition to the episode, which, like I said, I haven't felt in a while with Jodie Whittaker's guest stars, so props for that. I was so excited. I don't know if you just heard the Discord noise, but if you did, no you didn't. Jodie Whittaker did a great job as usual with that sort of omnipresent, clever, little bit of threatening doctor. She does that so much better. Don't get me wrong, I loved Series 11 when she was more hopeful and really lighthearted, but I also think that Jodie just does a really good job with the opposite. Mandip Gill and John Bishop, my beloveds, they also did a great job. I really loved the scenes that they got together as Dan and Yaz. I really hope we see more of their friendship throughout the final 2 episodes of Jodie's run, and I especially hope we see Dan connect with 13 more. On to our favorite little intergalactic salt shakers. The Daleks were great this episode. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I kind of don't like the Daleks. And, well, that's not fair. I like the Daleks, but very early on Daleks, and I haven't really liked them in most of their appearances since then. I just think you can't really have these indestructible robots and then keep defeating them like every season. Like, it just gets old and they feel not threatening, and when they appear, for me at least, it's kind of just like these guys again? Like, are you serious? But this time, I really liked them. I really liked especially that there were very minimal Daleks. I think my feelings about them growing old and just that indestructibility and terror not having a lot of meaning, I think that really becomes apparent when there's a lot of them, like when there's just this huge army of Daleks and you just know that they're all gonna get their ass kicked. It's like, But when there's like one Dalek, and this is why I love Christopher Eccleston's Dalek so much, it's so much more threatening because it's so much more personal. And you feel that. You're like, this is an indestructible being, but it's only one of them. And then you're thinking, how much of a threat can this one Dalek be? And then it blows you out of the water. It's terrifying, it's threatening, and so I really liked that there was only 1 to 2 Daleks for the duration of this episode. I think that really managed to hone in their terror and really drive it home, and yeah, I was so happy it was only one of them. Romance. Okay, we'll start with the heterosexuals because I know we're waiting to get to the main point here. which is THASMIN. But we'll give the heterosexuals their moment. We'll talk about them because they were like kinda cute. Apologies, I just had to fix my camera. But back to the heterosexuals. They were kind of cute, but also at the same time, the guy was kind of weird. Like, they made it like a humorous moment that like, oh, ha ha ha, he has this storage unit full of women's old things. You know, he's such a weirdo. But like, as a woman, I was just sitting there like, no, that's just weird. That definitely like took me out for a moment because I had been shipping them up until then. You know, it's called a romantic comedy, or at least that's what they said it was gonna be. So I was like, okay, these two are probably going to be the two that get together. So I was shipping it before then, right off the bat, and then that definitely like took me out for a second. That was odd. That was an odd choice. I thought that they were like a pretty okay pair, but you know, when you like look at the like there's gay people, it overshadows it. I can't do this anymore. Let's talk about THASMIN. So, how did I feel when THASMIN became canon? Well, let's take a look at my reaction first, and I'll get back to you on that.
Is it that obvious?
Oh my god, this is like...
I spent 4 years traveling the world with you. I saw it then. You didn't know I came looking at that hologram.
Oh my god, they're oh god, Dan. Friend of the lesbians.
Way too young to tell somebody that I like. The universe ended. Everything got messy. I wouldn't want that to happen to you, Sheffield.
For someone who jokes a lot about enjoying mayhem, I'm actually really happy it wasn't. Oh my god, they actually did this. I got all dolled up for this video. I was like, we're gonna dress fancy. It's New Year's Day. And I put on red lipstick, and I did not put on mascara because I don't know how emotional I'm gonna get while talking about this. I was very like overcome with emotion when they confirmed THASMIN. So I've spoken before, like I don't ship them, and that kind of changed over the course of Flux and as I started reading an abundance of fanfiction, where it kind of became like, I don't think it should necessarily, like I don't think it necessarily would be canon, but like if it was, that would be pretty cool. And so it was just kind of this situation where I'm like, I sort of half ship them. And I kept joking with myself. I was like, oh, ha ha ha, they're gonna confirm it in the New Year's special because it's New Year's Eve, and what if they have a midnight kiss or something? Which they didn't, but I still found myself like, even though I had created that anticipation in my mind that this might happen, even though it felt like they were building up to it, or at least like they were going to give us some crumbs, like a little bit of tasty queer bait, the moment it happened, I wasn't prepared for it. It's one thing to like joke about like, oh, these characters are a little fruity, or they should be gay, or to ship them, whether it be on like a half level like me or on a dedicated level like other people, or even just people who just acknowledge it as a thing that would be great to happen. And then, you know, you experience that sort of opinion, that anticipation, that like especially in fandom, like just the discussions around that and the feelings around that, and then you see it actually become canon, and it's just so powerful and really special. And I was happy on my own as a sapphic, seeing that become canon and just feeling appreciative of the fact that it was canon, that they actually did it. They weren't just like throwing in little moments for us. But I was mainly so emotional on behalf of other people. I'm a very empathetic person, and just knowing that like there are the dedicated fans who have been wanting this to happen for so long, and just knowing that this will mean so much to certain people and be so special to them is just amazing, and I'm so happy for you all. And it's hard to record this because I didn't think I would be recording this. I didn't think that this would happen. I genuinely thought that the most we would get out of this pairing would be like little crumbs just for, you know, little fan service there, and now it's actually happened, and it's just like it is so horribly overwhelming in the best, loveliest way possible. And just because I'm so happy, that doesn't mean that I'm not sad that it's this late in the game, that we haven't seen more development between the two, that we didn't get, a cheeky little midnight kiss. But I can wish for those things and still be so happy for what we got at the same time. Both can coexist. Both wolves are having a pride parade in my head right now. it's special, and I don't think it'll never not be special. We've certainly seen an increase in LGBT representation lately, so it's so wonderfully gotten to this point where it's not so novel anymore, but it's still at the point where you see it and it's just like that connection you make, that like, this is a character that's like me. This is a character who feels things that I feel or have felt, and it has the same sort of experiences that I have. And just that kinship is so wonderfully special. And I'm so happy that we're getting that with Yaz, and possibly with the Doctor as well. It's a very emotional experience, but it's a very great experience at the same time. I do hope that we really see that developed in the final 2 episodes, which the idea that we're down to only 2 episodes with Jodie Whittaker is even more emotional for me. But I do hope we see more of her and Yaz's relationship. Like, they have to drive it home. We've got 2 episodes left. We've got Dan on the TARDIS, who is the biggest lesbian ally I've ever seen. I said it for my first Flux video. I said I'm claiming him for the lesbians. And here he is supporting 2 beautiful sapphics. Yeah. We've got Dan. He's a queer ally. We've got, like, official confirmation that, like, this is a thing. And we've got the angst potential of a regeneration episode. So, like, let's do this. All in all, I really enjoyed the episode. I liked the atmosphere, the characters, the romance, just all that came with it. It was a very enjoyable episode, and very thankful that we got New Who so soon after Flux ended. That was a relief, and now we get to wait forever. That's about all I can say, mainly because my brain is so rattled right now from the fact that we actually got, like, this confirmed. I want to know what you guys think. Maybe you'll pick up on something that my little gay rattled brain can't right now, and we can talk about it. Or if you just want to talk about THASMIN, that's fine too. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sitting through the whole thing with me, or just the THASMIN parts with me. I understand if you just skip to them. It's okay. With that said, please stay safe, happy, and healthy, and have an excellent, brand new 2022.